let's talk about models. Internally, we've obviously implemented many of the traditional models that we've seen. And actually, one of our challenges in engineering was people cycling through Gemini and Claude and Mistral and OpenAI and trying to find the right model, the right fit for a particular purpose. But in your case, and certainly one of the fears in financial services is, how do I make use of these models? Is my data safe? And also critically, how do I customize it? How do I add learning into the selection of a model? So how at Boltzbit have you addressed this?
Model ownership is critical for enterprise applications. And let's not kid ourselves by thinking that a generic model which is supposed to represent AGI, or whatever they call it these days, can solve all the enterprise problems. Even the simplest of problems on the enterprise side is so private, so niche, that big models have not seen the data for it. So that's a challenge. And the models in the cloud or in off the shelf are aligned with the cloud provider and the model provider, not with the customer, because they do not own the IP of that model. Now, the key for successfully implementing something that actually works is a model that is customized and trained on your private data and on your private workflows. And this is where Boltzbit comes into play, providing the infrastructure layer for customers to be able to distill, customize, train, fine-tune their own private models on their private data and own the model weights. So the resulting model of the interaction between ourselves and the client is the customer IP.
So as I understand this interaction, you're still using LLMs that are publicly available. You're using
Correct.
that technology. But what you're enabling people to do is to bring one or multiple LLMs in-house. And you're adding a layer of decision-making and IP that allows custom behaviors, custom learning from that LLM. So the power of the intelligence, which you're then allowing your technology to customize to their specific workflows.
That is correct. We take away the most costly, complicated, and burdensome exercise from the customer, which is the model pre-training and ongoing fine-tuning. And this saves millions of dollars to each customer interacting with the technology. We're essentially delivering a no-code solution for model customization.
And those underlying models can be changed at any time.
That is correct. We work with open source models. It's the foundation of what we do and what we architect. And the open source community is very active, it's very dynamic. Model, I would say, leaders change all the time. This week might be Gemini, next week might be OpenAI, as they have open source models now. Week after might be Llama, then you have Q. And the competition is fierce, and everyone's trying to beat the benchmarks all the time. It's irrelevant to the business. I think taking a step back, and I would say this, the open source models and any generic LLM out there on the market is hitting a scaling wall. They've been trained to the maximum permissible amounts of data that we have available in the public domain, and that's the entire internet. You cannot squeeze any more performance or semantic capability out of these models anymore, unless you start training them on private data and private workflows. And this is why custom large language model solutions, custom models and architectures play a pivotal role in the success of the adoption of the technology by business.